Hello, guys. This is Josiah on Each One Teach One. Now, I tried to do the soliloquy. The soliloquy didn't turn out real good because it had technical issues. The sound is really bad, and I know the message is very important, and I'm still gonna try it again to see if the delivery will come out with the sound. I kind of fixed the mic a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Oh, can somebody tell me if they can hear me or not? This is very vital. Anybody there? So once I get an okay, I'll go ahead. I hope I'm not bothering anybody. If you're new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to it. And if you are already with us, like this as we go on. And, notification button is there too. Click on it. Smash that like button and keep sharing this. So the topic for today is consumer mentality lacks any suggestion of production, or consumer mentality lacks any sense of production. So if you guys can hear me, let's roll. Now, to start up, we just have to define consumerism, or what a consumer is. So consumer is, consumption, using excessively or moderately anything that is not produced by the person, and having absolute reliance on another. So the consumer culture was developed many years ago. Whenever you can think of capitalism, you think of a consumer, because when you capitulate on a certain thing, whether it's for monetary gain, you need people to buy these. And when they buy it, you gain profit. That's capitalism. So whenever you think of consumerism, always think of capitalism. So to move forward, the issue with consumerism is the fact that consuming gives you a sense of comfort, and you sit on your comfort zone and you feel comfortable about that. So you never think for yourself. You are dependent. You always think that I will always get my product from such and such person. They will always deliver. And regardless of your circumstances, whether you have the money or not, you are actually thinking of keeping whatever it is that the other party needs to be able to give you what you need. You are thinking for them in the aspect of it's kind of a reverse engineering done on you. You do not produce, but you think for the producer, giving them what you have reserved. No matter what, you have reserved these piece for the producer so you can get what you want, thinking that the producer is doing you a favor. So this is a very convoluted way of thinking, and this is caused because of years of conditioning. So this is caused because of years of conditioning, and let's take you back a little bit to the animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom, you have the animals, and they need to survive on a daily basis. Each animal, each group, if it's a lion pride, they go in their group and they go catch. They make their kill. It could be an antelope for that day, or doe, or wildebeest for that day. The idea here is they're gonna go hunt, isolate the enemy, hunt them down, consume it. That's it. That's how it's done. They don't even refrigerate anything that's left over, or carcasses or anything. And when you look at that analogy, that's what is happening in a consumer society. In a consumer society, the way of life is exactly as I've explained. Everybody is looking for the next kill. Everybody is looking for the next kill. The question is why? This is a period of conditioning rooting back to the days of the appearance of the people that had getting a group of people into this way of thinking, and with that promise, they have manufactured a system, a perfect system, and they sold it to these people who bought this the product of a system. Now, when you buy a product of your system, you become owned. Okay, you are a property. You're owned. I give you an example. You get a little puppy, a dog. The baby from the dog is called puppy. You get a little puppy, and you give the puppy a name. And when you call the puppy the name, it could be anything, and the puppy will answer you. And over a period of time, you develop vocabulary with the puppy. There are certain things that you say that the little puppy knows what you meant. So the same thing applies to humans. When you get a human, a being, and you give the being a name, the being has submitted to being owned by answering the name. So these are spiritual. There are spiritual connections in everything that's done here on this planet. People don't understand these. Now, when you take another's name, you have submitted your future to the person. Yep. When you take another's name, when you take another's anything from another, shows your evolution to interact with that person. If it's a debt, you have already signed yourself to slavery. So you have to tone down on how you take loans, whether you like it or not. You have to be careful. So the consumer mentality is built, is packaged and given to a group of people, and they buy a whole soul. They buy it from the bottom of their heart. They put their heart on it that is as good as gold, and nothing can change that. That's the problem that we have. That's the majority of the problem that a group of the people around us, and exactly who the message is for. They know who they are. This message is going to touch a lot of people. Even in the continent today, we see a lot of leaders that have no soul. They have sold themselves. Imagine nation states have nothing to speak of for their nation, relying on natural resources 24/7. That's consumerism. Imagine nations that have crude oil, they have to export the crude oil and import the refined oil. They have the crude oil. This is lack of self confidence and lack of understanding of the ramification when you bow down to someone, when you take another's name. Okay, when you give up the future of your generation for a little stash in Switzerland or UK or US or Canada, that's what happened. When you sell your children, it's like taking your children to the altar and you burn them. These are the things caused by this consumer mentality. There's no suggestion for production. When you tell a person, hey, you know that the cocoa that you have over there that you are exporting to whatever country, you can actually make the chocolate right there. They will never believe you because they think that somebody else, another, has an authority over that and they're superior in producing whatever that is, and they are comfortable paying 100 times the price to get the product. Now, many might be thinking, why is he saying this? And well, doesn't he understand that people don't have money? And how come we get money? Okay, if you don't have money, get it from your family. Ask your family members. And now the question is, they're not gonna give it to you. Why? That's consumer mentality again. In a consumer society, consumers do not support one another to produce. They support one another to consume. They know the best place that they have the product that they need for consumption, but they do not know how to build. I went to a community today. When I got to that community, I see different groups owning places of business. It was sad. Different groups of people owning places of business, and the people that actually dwell in that community are comfortable with hawking t-shirts and socks. That's ludicrous. That's I don't know how to explain that. That's appalling and ridiculous. So the take on here is a group of people have been able to package this consumerism as a product and sold it, and a group of people have bought this. And remember, humans, we are known for one thing: we got bigger brain, and we think, and we also make lots of tools. So in the animal kingdom, we are amongst the primates, and we have this great ability to best any other group in the kingdom. However, today it seems to me that we have created group of animals amongst ourselves. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm saying it how I feel it, and it's troubling. Like I had explained earlier, an animal goes for the kill for that particular day. It's called the kill of the day. And we see a group of people doing the same thing, kill of the day. The producing class might be 0.1111, I mean 0.00001. And the complementing part of this are a bunch of poor folks, 99.9999. Well, what separates the one group from the other? What creates the difference is thinking. The mind is called the mindset. The mindset, these two are different. One is conditioned and controlled from a distance. It's like you have a puppet and you have the master and the strings hanging down. The master controls the puppet with the strings. And then the education has been given to the puppet by design. And the education has been given to a group from inception of capitalization. They've been reduced to the modicum which they are today. And that brings about the consumer mentality that I talked about. How can these be changed? That's the need for re-education. The re-education will go a long way. You talk about the culture, you talk about the religion. That's the part of the culture and language and all of that. You talk about governance, you're talking about the spiritual. The spiritual has nothing to do with the religion. And you're talking about technology and all of that. These are a complete, consolidated part of education. Some need to be decolonized. Some need to remove themselves from mental slavery. And many more need to be re educated, not only to understand the need to produce, but to recognize who they are and plug themselves back to the root. That is very important because a plant without a root is not going to live for a long time because it cannot collect all the necessary nutrients and water. Water is about 85% of most animate objects, living bodies, organic bodies. We should always remember that. So the consumer mentality breeds the kill for the day mentality. Kill for the day mentality. I gotta get what I have to get, and that is why it's hard for anybody to mature to production in such a community because you have to fend out for the people that's trying to get what they need to get. In the process, they kill one another to get what they need to get. That's what we see happening in most of our communities, home and abroad. The leaders sell their people and kill their people. The soldiers are trained to kill their people because they learn from another. Okay, these things are happening. The schools are teaching you to leave your country and go study abroad. The the hospitals are there, but they cannot. The leaders don't go to the same hospital. They prefer to go abroad. How do you encourage the doctors to keep doing what they're doing? They prefer not to buy the products in the local, but to buy product elsewhere. How do you promote the people that are local? I give you an example. A baby. Do we say, "Oh, the baby is brand new. We're not gonna take care of the baby"? Is that what we say? Oh, the baby's brand new. Oh, he's just a year old, a day old, or 2 weeks old. We're just gonna let it die because it's a baby. When you do this, when you don't recognize the importance of your people, you kill your geniuses and you kill your Jesuses. When I say Jesus, I'm referring to Savior. That's what Jesus means in Greek. So you have to remember that your geniuses are like your saviors. Do not kill them. Help and support them. They are your technology builders, your science builders, whatever it is. There's a need to change the continent to become an IQ economy, and that lies solely on the youths. The youths are the core of this project. Without the youth, nothing is happening. Remember, an educated youth is an empowered youth. An empowered youth is an independent generation. Dependency is learned. You can also unlearn it. When you recognize your abilities, remember all those that sit in a position to be used will become useful, and all those that sit to consume will always be consumers. Always remember that. So, to be a producer, you have to be patient. You have to save. Patience, savings. These two will build your character. Growing so fast, blowing, or becoming a shot caller in a couple of days builds your ego. That's not the direction. Those who are producing and building majority of the products in the world took their time to get to the point they are. And they did it so well that they were able to package it and sell it to a group of people who bought this wholesale and do not understand the implication of taking products from another. These have spiritual implication. Once you do that, you've sold yourself. You need to produce for yourself. You need to form teams amongst yourself. Gather together, find a project, fund it. As long as you understand how far teamwork teamwork can go, then you will realize the power of production. Production gives you the ability to control your future, your income, your people, your ideas sublime. You need to remove the consumer mentality and understand that that there is the poison that's killing you and your generation. And without supporting the youth, every one of us will be completely destroyed. The youths are the only thing we got. They are the tomorrow. They are the future. There's a lot of opportunity now. There's a level playing field. Technology has made that possible. Things are getting out of hand. The COVID-19 have taught us a lot of things about human nature and how the world works. If you have something that works, people, regardless of who they are, where they're from, or what walks of life they come from, they will embrace it. Regardless, they will embrace it. Now is the time for you to come and band together and build things that not only you can use, things that will become an option to the world. Having said what I've said, the sole purpose of doing this is to encourage the youths to pick their interest, to create the awareness amongst them. The need to become a critical thinker, to be independent in thinking, to not only quote other people, but to quote yourself from time to time. Do not take others' name. Retain your name and who you are. A name what is what more than silver and gold. Remember your ancestors. Remember where you're from. Take back what had been taken from you. Take it back. Take your sanity back. Become human once again. It is only the animal that kill one another for survival. They kill themselves for food. That's cannibalism. Animals do that. We are Homo sapiens. We belong to the high class of the thinking people, tool making people with a big brain. Nothing is impossible for us. Do not accept consumerism. Do not accept it. Reject it. Produce. Make things that you can use and what other people will also use. Take charge of your community. Control what's in your community. Every moment, every time that you allow outsiders to control your community, You've sold your community to outsiders. The money leaves your community and it never comes back, and nobody cares. It is a sad day, but this is a new beginning for humanity. Because if you produce, there's always going to be somebody to buy. So why not produce? Why consume when there's a great opportunity in producing? Why not do that? Well, this is my little message today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. If you've been with us for a while, like this and share it amongst your friends and family. Also, if you haven't clicked on the notification button, do so so you can catch up with us and like the comments. You know, let us know what you think, what you want us to do, so we can go ahead and do it. As always, whenever I have a little information to share, I do share them. I appreciate the moment I have with y'all. This is Josiah signing off. Each one, teach one.